Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a coach for female entrepreneurs and a feng shui practitioner. Hello, hello.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I got to tell you, I was a little panicked today.
Oh,
Like, you text me all the time to remind me, hello, wake
it's your
up.
day.
As though you know that I'm probably running late, which I'm not usually late for this podcast, but I do run a little late all the time. I'm like right on time. And so I started to panic because today I wanted to try this rum chata concoction. And so on the podcast you cannot see this, but it's
is
like
what? So
it's
my
such a
sister-in-law
sweet bar.
drinks. She loves that stuff.
Do you know what? Your sister-in-law is super strong because I could not get the lid off. And I'm like, I feel like
She is
I'm
a badass.
pretty strong chick, but like I was stressing thinking, oh God, now I gotta find something else to drink. I can't get the lid off. I was really looking forward to it. And I did get it off. So this is I sheer strength and determination and fear I was gonna be late.
Okay.
That is like a powerful combo.
Okay.
So that's what I'm drinking today. I read, and then I started panicking, thinking, "Oh gosh, I don't have time to Google what I'm supposed to do with it." So I put it in like this is a large glass of this stuff, but I put a huge ice cube in there, and I think I was supposed to put like dilute it like root beer or
I don't
milk or
remember what she used, but I remember she sent me and my mother to the store to
coffee.
get some because
Oh.
we had to have it that night. But I don't remember what she did with it.
It's tasty. It
Yes.
tastes like a bit like eggnog to me. Is that what it tastes like to you? Like a
I
bit
don't even know if I
eggnog.
had any of it. I might have a sip, but you
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
drink rum.
But true. Mean Lee comes out. But here's the thing that is the question mark for me. It says Caribbean rum with real dairy cream, natural and artificial flavors. So like, who knows what that is? And so I open it, I pour it in, and then I realize, wait a minute, it's real dairy cream. Shit, I'm gonna have to put this in my fridge. So I look and I see, I didn't have my glasses on, so I see refrigeration. I put my glasses on and it says no refrigeration necessary.
Hmm.
How real can this cream be
True.
if I can put it in my cupboard for 6 months after
Yeah.
opening? I I feel not. I feel not. Anyway, it is tasty, but it does feel like Christmas in July.
Oh,
So,
well, there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
no. Where's
Ah,
my presents? Where's my presents?
like, give me.
Yeah.
Okay, today, because when I get done here, I'm going out to the pool. I thought a nice Josh Chardonnay rosé.
Oh.
This is my favorite rosé.
Oh.
Um, but
I've never seen it.
yeah,
Where's it from? Where's it from? Maybe we can't get that here. I
you're
don't
gonna
know.
ask me. I can't. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the
Um,
50s.
I think it says
Welcome to the
France.
50s.
Yes, I think it says France, but I could be making that
Oh,
up. I
okay.
don't. I don't think does it look French?
It looks fancy. I don't think it looks French, but I don't know. I really like the script.
So yeah.
Maybe.
So
Cool.
just
Okay.
an easy wine. Okay, how was your week?
My week was good. My week was good. After this podcast, I'm going to do one of my favorite things.
Oh,
I have a lot of favorite things, but after this podcast, I'm going to go and take pictures of high school football. I mean, I like all sports pictures. Like it didn't matter what sports my kids were playing. I love to get like cool angled shots and things and so even though Cole is playing for the university now, I still love to like go to the football field. It's only 5 minutes from my house and take pictures for the coaches that really helped him along. And then I post them on the website or like post them on their Facebook groups so that it's like, oh, kind of cool. And as a mom, I really appreciated when people did that for me, like took some really kick-ass pictures that you didn't have to spend $40 on a
Yeah.
four by
Yeah.
five, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
How fun.
I know. And Cole was coaching yesterday and I missed it. So he sort of does his own thing and he doesn't check in with me.
Hmm.
As it turns out,
Yeah,
when
they
you're
kind
not,
of stopped doing that.
they stop doing that when they get their license. But now, he's 19,
Well, I
so
mean, but before they're graduated from high school, you have a little more say,
right. I
but
have
it just
zero
changes.
say. I
Like I'll be
know.
home when I'm home.
Right? I know. He leaves the door and I'm like, where are you going? Out. Okay. I forgot. You live on your own most times. Anyway, so I'm going to take pictures, but one of my favorite things to do is like I just put it on continuous and it just goes, right? And I
Yes.
love catching these like I hate when people are like posed. So I love just catching the candid shots and like the amazing things and the imperfect things and like the missed balls and the like all the I just love them. So
Yes.
I'm hoping I can get some really good ones.
Those are the best.
Hmm. So what are you doing? What happened today?
Well,
World of
this
Leigh.
this week was good. It's interesting. I got this new patient, and she came in and she was really, really well dressed. Everything was put together, but the way she carried herself was you could feel her insecurity by the way
Mm-hmm.
that she was carrying herself. And when she sat down, I'm like, so what's going on? She's like, I need to lose 100 pounds. She didn't need to lose 100 pounds. Like
Mm.
50, maybe 70, but that might even be pushing it. And I'm like, why do you need to lose 100 pounds? And she's like, I'm fat, I'm disgusting. I need to be perfect.
Aw.
And I said, you know that perfect doesn't exist, right? Like, and she goes, well, then just normal. I just want to be normal. And I said, normal is a setting on a dryer.
Did
Well,
she
she
want
didn't,
to like punch you in the face by this point, or what was going on in her head?
she's crying at this point, as soon
Aw.
as I said that. And I'm like, what is up with
Mm-hmm.
you having this illusion that, like, what is wrong with you right now? And she said, my dad always said I was too fat. And I
Oh,
said, well, where's your dad? And she said, he's gone. He's passed.
okay.
And I'm like, do you think he would tell you that if he could come back and talk to you now? Would that ever, just
Yeah.
trying to get her, because she is living her life, 35 years old, miserable because
Aw.
of what some person said in a moment of anger, might not have had anything to do with her. Maybe he was a horrible human being. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's still not any more true.
Right. Right.
And imagine living your life, and we all do this to some extent,
Mm-hmm.
um, judging everything by bullshit that you've heard. And,
Oh, well,
you
we
know,
were kind of talking about this last week too, right? Like how I said, like I was lucky enough to be able to be raised by my grandmother and my mom. It was like you can do anything. It was this underlying belief, like the
mhm,
four agreements, right? Like
yeah.
this like agreement that I had made because they placed it on me really
Mhm,
that I could do and be and have anything that I wanted.
mhm.
And that was sort of my base. I still have screwed up thoughts that I gathered along the way from like all the way up, till
Oh,
now.
yeah.
But it's like when you have that bass, it's like a bass beat running in the
Yes.
background. And it is really, I think, transformative when you can see it's bullshit. But I
Oh,
think when it comes from a parent or like someone who you've entrusted to for your survival. It's hard to break that sometimes, I think.
But it just fascinates me when I hear this stuff, because it all reflects back, and you can kind of see
Oh,
where you've sort of done, the same, where it's kind of held you back too.
for sure. Oh, absolutely.
And when I'm saying you, I'm really talking about me.
But it's for all of
It's
us,
all
right?
of
Like
us.
it's and even this is the thing that I'm finding fascinating is I've done so much like journaling and meditation and mindset work really on this like unearthing feeling, like unearthing who I was placed on this earth to be.
Hmm.
And it's shocking to me every single day to find another layer of bullshit that
Hmm.
I agreed to
Yeah.
and how it's affected me. And it would have been something that I heard in school, something that I heard from, like a friend, something that like the bullshit that I subscribe to. Now, we also subscribe to good stuff too, though.
Yes, we do.
Right. And I think sometimes, especially in online for online entrepreneurs, it's all about the shadow work and like fixing the shadow work. And I got so pissed at listening to it. And it was like finding these things that we'd agreed to that held us back. But I also really have been focusing lately on the things, the beliefs that I agreed to that allowed me to move forward.
Hmm.
Because I think that there's just as many as that of them,
Hmm.
no matter,
And
right?
when we're focused on one or the other, what are we getting more of?
Mm-hmm. It's
It's
like
kind of
just like take a big sip there of my rum chata. It's super strong, I think, by the way.
like,
But no, it is so true. Like it's so like it's the mind is just such a powerful thing.
yes, yes. And when you get into that shadow stuff,
Yeah,
man, you can get a lot of it real quick.
it's nasty.
And it's like, I would rather, because I get there sometimes, and I've had some stress going on with me, and and then I did that stuff in my family area of my house.
Yeah.
And I've had moments where I'm just feeling all the ick,
Mm-hmm.
like just not quite right. And it's interesting, it's taken me a little bit more effort to say, do you really want to feel like this? And
Mm-hmm.
to redirect.
Well, because we like to punish ourselves too, right? Like
Right.
because it's like we believe we deserve to feel it because we're not perfect, maybe because we haven't hit these expectations that some jackass placed on us years and
Right.
years and years ago,
Yeah.
right? Like it's so I have a lot of history with perfection.
Mhm.
And I think, I mean, my dad's an alcoholic, and so some of that I think I read a lot when I was younger anyway on it, and I think some of that need for perfection is because of that, because I am a child of an alcoholic, because I grew up in an imperfect sort of environment, and so I think we always try to be perfect to fix it, right? Like it's like if
Oh,
I'm perfect, then
yeah.
everything else, right? And so it has been a really interesting journey for me in the last, I would say, 10 years of really coming out of that and like taking action even though it wasn't perfect, like. And so there's a couple things, like, because if I waited for perfection I would never move.
Oh,
I
right.
wouldn't have a
None of us
business.
would.
I would never go live. And one of the things actually that helped me was going live on Facebook. You cannot be
Practicing.
perfect when you're on live on Facebook or
Yeah.
this podcast. Like
Yeah.
some people, like we were talking about this podcast, right? Some people will do a podcast and then cut it and splice it and make it so perfect, and it's not even what was recorded. It's just little snippets and it sounds perfect. And I really think that that's like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because it would never be perfect enough. So for me to just go
Mm,
live on this, it's like it's good enough. Like I am good enough as
you
I
are
am
enough.
first
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
And so live video has been sort of the I was going to say the cure for me. I wouldn't say it's a cure, but it's like live video has been the thing for me to say you can go live and whatever the hell comes out of your mouth is going to be good.
It is
Just
supposed to be what
trust.
comes out.
Just trust that.
Hmm.
And but there was a couple other things that I think that were super super transformative for me. One was this quote. I have no idea where it came from, but it was perfection is not inspiring. No one is inspired by perfection because no one can hit it. Like it's just such a false,
Like this unattainable goal we all have, and we all try to pretend we're there.
right. And then we always fall flat and we always feel not good enough and we always feel like a failure and no one is hitting it. So
Hmm.
it's like this, like you said, unattainable goal
Yeah.
that we all have and we're all failing at.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh, wait, perfection is not inspiring. Good. I don't want to be perfect. I want to be relatable and I want people to know that they can be inspired by me in my messiness.
Hmm.
Like, isn't that what it's about? Like, I don't know. And then there was another thing that I read that was hugely transformational for me, and it was done is better than perfect.
Oh, yes.
Like, and that's the
And
thing with this podcast, right? Like, done is better than perfect. We could get like, we could spend so much time trying to, like, remove the things that I say that I shouldn't, or, like, if you wanted to spend
it would
time
not be fun.
taking my swear words out, it would be a while. And it would never, ever be perfect enough. And so it would never be done.
Hmm.
Same as my courses, same
Yeah.
as my coaching containers, same as my online stuff, same as my posts. It would never be done.
Yeah.
So, and I know this for a fact because when I record myself, like if I'm going to do a live, it's like press play, go. There's no stopping you. But if I record myself on my phone,
Hmm.
I will literally take 15, 20 times. I will try it.
What is that? It's like we don't show up fully
Hmm.
when we have a backup plan.
Oh, that's so good. And it's so true.
Hmm.
So true. We don't.
In anything.
And you know that quote? I have no idea who said it, but someone that's listening, or maybe you will know it, but it's like, if you want to hit the island, you got to burn your boat. Okay, seems scary as fuck, doesn't it?
Kind of. Yeah.
But but it's a term for entrepreneurs. I feel like someone brilliant said it, but I don't know who. Um, maybe it was Tony Robbins even, or maybe he quotes it. But it's like if you have a business and a well-paying job, your business is like the likelihood that you will get this huge amount of success in order to be able to quit your job, it is very unlikely. I
Hmm.
do know some people that do it. I know they are lawyers and then all of a sudden, like they must be killer at organization. But lawyers becoming beachbody coaches and then all of a sudden they're top 10 and they quit their law firm. But I think that's rare.
Hmm.
And I don't tell people, you know what you should do to hit success? Quit your fucking six-figure job. I mean, I did, but I don't suggest that for everyone. It's a big, big risk. But at the same time, I think it's really, really hard to do both.
Hmm.
Like it really just is. You gotta, when you have a backup plan, it's hard to go all in and be messy.
Yeah.
Like it's hard because you sit back and you judge and you judge and you judge. So,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Perfection.
Profound.
Profound. I know. But I do think that it holds us back so much. Like,
Yeah.
and what if we could just all like let it go.
Well, it's interesting. My girlfriend was over last weekend, and we're in the kitchen talking, and she's talking about her job. But the way that she's talking about it and the things that are coming out of her mouth, I turned around and looked at her and I'm like, oh my God, you're getting ready to have a breakthrough. And she goes, yeah, I know. When I was listening to you and Sandra the other day, and y'all were talking about this and this, and we
What?
inspired her.
Oh, yay. What did we say?
I don't even remember.
What? Oh, dang.
Yeah, but she was
Okay.
just kind of telling me that she was listening and what how she interpreted it. But it hit me in that moment, like, okay, this is why the stuff just flows out.
It is exactly. We get in the vortex and it's
Mhm.
just like liquid gold.
But seeing the transformation of people just in their thinking,
Yeah.
you know?
It's why I love coaching so much.
Mhm.
Because you can see that, like, you can see that sparkle in their eye in the moment, right? Like, in the moment,
Yep.
it's like magic. You can see it. That twinkle comes back, the sparkle comes back, and it's just like this click moment, this like aha moment where it's like, oh, I get it. And this is how I can relate it to me.
And they walk different and they talk different and they interact with people different and they
Yes.
feel different about who they are.
Yes.
There's a shift
Hmm.
when they get it.
Yeah.
And then they have it. Not that we don't lose it from time to time because we
Exactly.
are human.
Yeah.
Um, but I was listening to Abraham this morning, and Abraham was talking about that, how this is not about perfection. You're not in the vortex all the time. You have step one moments. You have contrast. That's how you decide what you want, because you get to say, do I want this, or do I want this, or do I want this?
Yeah.
And so you're going to have those moments where you don't know what to do, or you go pick the wrong thing, or and let it be.
Hmm.
Life happens.
Yeah.
It's not all going to be, but it's all experience
Hmm.
leading us from one thing to the next. To the next.
And yeah, when we can let it be without judgment of
Yeah.
ourselves, I think that is the freedom.
Yeah.
Like that feels like freedom to me. I wrote a post on my personal profile the other day and I was talking about um how we hold ourselves back. And I had said, like I was getting pissed off with just listening and reading and thinking you are the only one that holds yourself back. And while it's true, it's like this annoyance in the back of my mind to listen to it, right? And I was thinking, okay, yeah, just push through that. Just push through that. Like force myself. I'm holding myself back, so I'm going to force myself to do something. And when you are in that pushy energy, you don't manifest amazing things.
Mm.
But also, it's really hard to get into flow
Yes.
because you're pushing.
Well,
It's
it's
like,
the way you're looking at pushing. If you could look or listen to this voice, start telling it in a different voice,
mm-hmm.
and think of it as a gentle nudge going, hey, go write that blog post. It's time now.
Well, excuse me. And for me, though, too, it's almost like I was sitting in this stage of resistance
Yes.
so badly, right? Like digging my heels in so badly. And I couldn't really figure out why I had to push myself,
Mm-hmm.
gently nudge several times a day. I can't really I couldn't figure out why I had to push myself to write the posts all this. And it was like I was constantly pushing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started to kind of just strip away all of the stuff that was holding me back from years and years and years ago, it felt like this unearthing, like this unleashing.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been so much more fun since I've done that process, right? Like it's just, yeah, it's been just in the last week, I probably would say that I felt like completely
Mhm.
shifted, to just have fun and just let it be. And I also stopped judging myself for being resistance.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that was the hugest thing for me. Hugest. Okay, I just make up words now. That was the
So
biggest thing for me. Was it wasn't the recognition that I was in resistance. It wasn't getting out of resistance. It was this idea that just because I was in it didn't wasn't a bad thing. It just is, just like the contrast.
yeah.
And the larger the goal that I had, the more unearthing I had to do in order to move towards achieving it, right?
What's
So,
coming?
what's coming?
Hmm.
Something amazing.
So much fun. Yeah, it's tough though. Getting out of that cycle.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it's a cycle,
Hmm.
it's even harder
Right.
because you don't know what's going on. But once you realize that it's
Yeah.
a cycle and there are things you can do to correct it. I mean, I have to coax myself into, like, if I'm in a spot, just put on Abraham. No, I'm good. I'm fine. Put on
Hmm.
Abraham. And then it's like, do you feel really good right now? No. Do you want to feel really good right now? Yeah. Put on Abraham.
Hmm. And that is that gentle nudge, right? Like
Yes.
to like do the
Like,
thing to
don't say
get you
do
out
this,
of.
but ask the questions like, wouldn't this be the most logical step to take right now?
Sometimes I think we talked about this last week too, but it is sometimes we resist the things that we need to do in order to get out of the shit that we're in, even though we don't like it.
Right.
We
The
resist
pain
it.
where we are
Yeah.
is not as great as the pain change brings.
Right. Because we
Mhm.
know it.
Yeah.
We know
You
this.
know this demon or
No?
devil or
Exactly.
mhm.
Exactly.
So, well, what are you doing this weekend besides taking
Um,
pictures?
I'm going to a I don't know what it is. It's like a little I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like a rodeo or something, but
Oh, okay.
they have I okay, I love a good food truck. Look, I love food trucks. And so they have these like amazing food trucks that come with for ribs. It's like
Ah,
a rib fest. I don't know. And I suck at making ribs. And I actually don't like to make them, but I do like to eat them, and especially ones that are like they have award-winning ribs. Kind of
oh
probably
yeah.
this is nothing like Texas would have, right? But in Canada, up here in Alberta, we have these like I think three or four trucks, and they all display all of their trophies that they've won for best rib or best sauce or best chicken or I don't know, however many years. And so that's what Shay and I are gonna do this weekend. I'm so excited.
Fun. Okay, when we come to visit you,
Mm-hmm.
Paul is going to make y'all some ribs. He's
Mm.
kind of a chef,
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
because he will make you some good Texas ribs.
Oh, cool. You know,
Mhm.
when Cam, I think I said this on one of our first episodes, but when Cam was down in Texas, it was like, oh, he said the food was just amazing, like the stuff that he loves, right? Like the best sauce and the best ribs and the best barbecue and the best. So, yeah, I can't wait.
And you need to
Paul
come
is welcome.
take a trip here.
Yes, I would love to.
Well, I'm thinking
Next,
we're about out of time.
I think so too.
So yeah.
I know.
I will update y'all next week on my painted bathroom.
See how that goes,
Yes.
right?
So hopefully I'll get that done before, but we'll see.
We're gonna do that this weekend.
That's my plan.
Hmm.
But the winery just sent an email, our favorite Seven Creeks, and they're having dinner out there and they'll have live music. And
Oh, that sounds better than painting
That
inside.
I mean, the whole place, just feel good. It's like family. So we
You
might go
gotta
back
go.
there.
Nice. And what's the temperature there right now?
Oh, 100. It's going to be 105 all weekend. No rain in sight. I think it's like hell.
Oh, yes.
I think I'm
Just
living in hell.
the face of the sun. That is where you're living. Right there. Okay, well,
Okay. Have a great week.
sunscreen it up
I will
and
do it. I'm going to go jump in the pool. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on the Happy Half Hour.
bye.